All right, we are live. We are live. Episode 95, featuring Coach Myriam. So this one gonna be a good episode. I can't wait. I'm very, very excited. So this one gonna be definitely gonna be dope. Last time I seen Coach, it been over 20 years. Amazing athlete. So definitely. So I can't wait. I can't wait. I know the viewers probably can't wait to hear her story as well too. But I hope everybody doing well. Happy Tuesday. Time flying and everything. So hope everybody doing well. Hope everybody's safe. If anybody going through any tough times, so much love and prayers and blessings to everybody and stuff like that. So last week we had a great episode. We had Miss Alexis on last week. Doctor. So that was a great episode. If you guys got a chance, definitely tune in, check it out. A lot of great information. You can learn a lot about some different stuff, man. So, I learned a lot about, brushing my teeth, learn about her life, learn about taking care of my gums, a lot of different stuff. So it was a great episode. It was amazing how she got to where she got to and to the point she at today. So it was definitely dope, and I appreciate everybody who tuned in last week to support. So I hope everybody doing well. But we on to the next one, episode 95, featuring Coach Myriam. I ain't gonna hold you guys hostage too much. I ain't gonna talk too much. I'm gonna definitely introduce her now and bring her up. So everybody, welcome Coach Myriam.
Hi, everybody. My
Welcome,
name is
welcome,
Coach
welcome.
Miriam. Thank you. Thank you, Muma.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So everything good, everything safe.
Yes, everything is good. Good to see you again after all these years.
Yeah, yeah. After all these years, we looking good. We looking young. We look like we still athletes. We look
Right?
like we tip top shape.
We're still
You know,
athletes. We're
yeah.
still we're always athletes.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, but it's definitely good to see you, and I appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule to come on. And share your story with us. Let everybody know who you are. So I really appreciate that. So
Well, thank you for having me.
yeah. So so you on St. Thomas right now?
Yes, I live on St. Thomas.
So how is the weather? How's the weather down there and everything?
Well, it's really nice. This is a nice time of year where, it could go down to like about 70 degrees some nights, not most nights. It's still like 78 and up, the regular weather here on the islands. But when it gets down to like 70, we just start to freak out down in the island and be like, "Oh, it gonna snow, it gonna snow." It ain't gonna snow with no 70 degrees.
That's far from that. Far from that. Man,
Yes,
70
it's
degrees is good,
beautiful
man.
weather, paradise every day.
Yeah, I miss that. I miss that. I miss the ocean breeze. I miss the beach and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you get to
So
see it every time you drive around the islands. But when you're
yeah,
working, you don't get to go to the beach every day. But at least once in a while you get invited to a birthday beach party or something.
yeah. That's always fun. That's
Yep.
always fun. Eat some good food and then just jump in the
Hmm.
water.
Yep. Enjoy family and friends. You know how we do here in the islands.
Trust me, I know how to do it. So it's still somewhere inside of me. Ain't gone.
Yes,
It's
and
still,
Carnival is coming up. Carnival is coming up in April, and I know a lot of people that are coming home for Carnival.
I know you're excited for Carnival.
And I am, but I don't think I'm going to be able to partake too much this year.
Oh no?
No,
No, I was gonna
no.
ask if you was gonna be in the parade or something.
Well, I used to be in the parade, not anymore. I'm not in the parade anymore. But this year, I'm also an assistant coach for the junior national volleyball team, and they are playing in Puerto Rico in May. And so the week of Carnival, the players are training in Orlando, and
Nice.
so I might be up there with the head coach because I'm assisting during that whole week of Carnival. So maybe I might not even be a part of Carnival this year.
Yeah, you're gonna miss out. Well, you're gonna miss
Yeah,
it for a
I
good
got miss. Oh,
cause.
it's okay. I'm still doing what I love.
Yeah, yeah. You're missing it for a good cause, but it's for the kids,
Yes,
so you
exactly.
helping them achieve their dreams and their goals and stuff like that. So that's good. That's always good.
Yeah.
You know. So kind of tell us about yourself a little bit. Growing up. Was you born and raised in St. Thomas?
No, my story is very long. I was born in Guadeloupe. It's a
Okay.
French island in Caribbean, right next to Dominica. My mom and my dad is from Dominica. I moved to Dominica when I was 5 to learn English so that I could, come to St. Thomas. And
Okay.
when I got to St. Thomas, I was about 9 years old. I didn't know English that much, but I learned it eventually and went all the way through high school. So from elementary all the way through high school in St. Thomas, and then got a volleyball scholarship to Florida International University to play volleyball. And of course, went to school there for 4 years. Got my bachelor's in criminal justice, and moved back to St. Thomas after I actually before I graduated. Once I was done, I moved back to St. Thomas, and I've been here. I wouldn't say I've been here since. I actually went back and forth a couple times. Try the states out, and then you get homesick, you move back
Yeah.
because my dad lives here. My mom, my sister, my nieces, nephews, brothers, they all live in France because
Oh
they're
wow.
yeah, they're French citizens. I've never been to France, which I'm embarrassed to say.
Wow. You got to try to make it out there. You got to try to make it out there.
Yes, it's crazy that now my daughter, who's a junior in high school, she wants to go there for college, and so I'm like, I'm freaking
Oh,
out.
nice.
It's far, as a mom. Like, how did you just decide to pick France? But I guess it's the French in her from me that that's drawing her that way. I'm still trying to change that decision though.
Yeah, but I mean, she got her family over there too, though, right? So
Yeah, my mom, my
yeah,
sister, my brothers. She has more family there than here in St. Thomas.
yeah. So she'd be good. Man. She'd be good. Well, I know the mom and you and stuff. The
She ain't
mom
gonna be the
instincts,
mother
but
is not gonna be there, so
yeah, yeah. So
the mom
yeah.
in me wants to keep her close.
So oh yeah, because Guadeloupe is French, right?
Yes, it's a French
It's French.
territory. Hmm.
Was it difficult to learn English when you was young?
Well, as kids learn a different language quicker than as
Yeah.
like an adult trying to learn it. And so when I moved to Dominica, my cousins spoke English, but they would have to speak Creole to me in order for me to understand. So I would learn a little bit of English, but we mostly spoke Creole because they were trying to conversate with me. So I did learn a little English. I learned more English when I was in St. Thomas. I went to Aleph Mullah Elementary School, and a few teachers, assisted me because it was hard, learning a new language in a new environment. But I guess I was fine because I ended up, graduating salutatorian in the class. So
Wow.
so I didn't do too bad.
Too bad.
Yeah, I know, from not learning the language to, graduating
Ah,
second.
man,
Yeah.
I was nowhere near that graduating. So you was top of the line when you talking about not too bad.
I guess, but not knowing the language, it's like it was when they told me what that I was the salutatorian. I was like, I don't even know what that meant, first of all. And then my teacher, of course, helped me with my little speech and everything. And oh, I forgot to mention my stepmom. My stepmom, she's from Georgia,
Okay.
and she helped me a lot, as telling me how important education is. And so I guess that's why I ended up, graduating second in the class, not really even knowing the language.
That's
Yeah.
impressive though, because you was also a student athlete, so you had a lot of responsibilities and stuff,
Yes. Uh-huh.
so to achieve those type of goals academically as well as athletically, that's amazing. That's
Yes.
amazing. So,
Yeah.
what sports did you play growing up?
Okay, well, I actually didn't really start playing sports until I was in 7th grade.
Okay.
Um, my best friend, I guess they were having at Cancri, at Cancri, they were having tryouts, So she was like, "Come, let's go play volleyball." I'm like, "What is that? I don't even know what that is." And then like walking in the hallways, I was tall. And so, the coaches approached me. I was like, "Come try it out." And then, I played it, and then ever since, like, it was like my love for, volleyball. And of course, when you play volleyball, you're tall. You also get approached by the basketball coach while you're in school.
That's
And so
true.
I started playing basketball too. I tried softball, but then I couldn't deal with the hot sun being out there for so long. So by the
Hey,
time I had gotten to high school, I was like volleyball, basketball, and that's it.
which one you enjoy playing more though? Was it volleyball?
I enjoyed volleyball more because we played all year long for volleyball. We played during the school league, then we would play power league, and then we played summer league as well. So volleyball was all year round, as basketball was only during like basketball season. Which I also feel like we need to change that now because it's still the same.
Yeah,
Volleyball is all year round, and basketball here on the island is only during the basketball season.
basketball season. Yeah, yeah, you
At least for
got
the girls. I don't know how it is for the guys.
yeah. It should be there. Definitely, it should be all year round. It should be.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
definitely,
Because I know
definitely.
how the kids up in the states they train. They train all. These kids are playing from 5 years old
Yeah,
all year long.
all year long.
Yeah.
They in the gym training. They got trainers.
Yes, is that how your son is? Because you told me your son plays basketball.
Yeah, he well, I trained him. I
Okay.
trained him when he was young and stuff. He didn't start until he was like was he started when he was in sixth grade. That's when he started, when he was in sixth
Okay.
grade. Yeah, so he
Okay.
started late. Yeah, and I just trained him, teaching the basic fundamentals and stuff like that. And then as he got older and stuff, he got a lot better and stuff. And then you know how it is, especially with boys, is like, they kind of want to do their own thing and everything. So I give him my blessings and tell him like, hey, if you want to train with someone else, you can and stuff like that.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
always try to give them that choice that,
yeah, that
you're not
choice,
trying
yeah,
to push them too much.
yeah,
Because if
you
you
know,
push too much, you know what happens, especially as
yeah,
a parent.
yeah. There's a lot of resent and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
the parent and child relationship come first before the sport. So
Yes, for sure.
yeah,
Hmm.
so
Trust me, I
yes.
know. That's why I don't coach any of my. Well, I coach them on the side. I'm not like their head coach. I'm like, you be the head coach. I'll just assist on the side because it's different when you're the parent.
Yeah, it is. It is very different. It's very different. It's tough. It's tough, because what makes it tough too is like, especially when you was playing and you didn't have a parent involved like that, so you don't know the feeling as a child,
Yes.
and you doing it as an adult. So
Hmm.
it's very tough.
Yeah,
Sometimes you might,
that was definitely me. Like playing all these years,
yeah,
I didn't have like my dad didn't come to my games. My mom lived in Guadeloupe most of the time. And so it was just basically me and the coaches.
yeah, you're
So
the
now I
coaches,
try
yeah,
to be, I try to be more involved in their sport, be there for them, but at the same time I don't want to be the head coach because my younger daughter, she's 11, and I don't want to coach her. She's gonna be really good, but I
yeah,
don't want to coach her.
yeah. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I agree with you. It's like, yeah, it's tough, man. It's just tough. You want the best for your
It's
child,
already
and
tough being a parent nowadays. So
oh
imagine
yeah,
being a parent and a coach. You
yeah,
want to go, that drive home is gonna be a very long drive.
yeah. Very long. No, it's true. It's true. It's true because some parents can't differentiate, and some parents can. But
Yeah,
is the kid? Can the kid see the separation? Maybe they're too young to comprehend that.
to
Understand.
understand. Yeah.
Like why you yell or why you pushing them and stuff like
Yes.
that. They might still be in that, mom and dad, son and mom, etc., vice versa, parent, child mode still. So
Yes. And
it's
then as
yeah,
a parent, you want them to be great, but at the same time, you don't want to push them too much that they push back and just end up, not quitting.
yeah, not
Yeah, you don't
quitting.
want that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Hmm.
So how did that process go? going to FIU? Because you said you went to FIU on a volleyball scholarship.
Volleyball scholarship, yeah.
How was that
So
process?
my coach at the time, Mr. Charlie Davis, we traveled to Florida and we played at a volleyball tournament there. And I think the assistant coach for FIU was there. I guess she was, looking for players. And I guess she approached him, about me. And so that's how I ended up getting, that scholarship from FIU, as well
Mm.
as I had an offer for Morgan State University,
Oh,
but they
nice.
also wanted me to play basketball. They wanted me to play both volleyball and basketball.
That's good.
And I visited both schools. And at the time when I visited Morgan State, it was cold. And, coming from the islands all my life, I was just like, I don't know if I can deal with this cold weather. And also, they wanted me to play two sports. And then you also have to think about academics, when does that come in? And so I just decided that, Florida was the best fit for me. I felt more comfortable with the players on the team because, when you get recruited, you get to meet the players, you get to meet the coaches, you go to the facility, you walk around the school, and Florida FIU was more comfortable for me at the time.
Yeah, I would have definitely choose FIU. So yeah, that's a that's a good school. That's a real good school.
Yeah, what school did what's you played basketball in college, right?
First year I played basketball, got redshirted. Then I tried for the baseball team, made the baseball team.
Yes, because I remember you played baseball too.
Yeah, so and then after that it was just baseball. Because I
Okay.
ended up getting drafted my freshman year. I was a draft and follow, so then I just had to stick with baseball.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
So yeah. You know what's funny? Because I was in Iowa for 2 years and I went to Betul Cookman and we played FIU. I didn't know you was going to FIU. We played FIU.
Really, what year was that?
We played FIU 2003. Played
I
FIU.
was right there. I was there.
Yeah,
You
played
played at FIU?
at FIU. We
My
played at FAU at first. We played a couple games and then after that we went to FIU and we played. Yeah.
oh
I
my
didn't know you was
goodness.
at
That's
FIU. I'll definitely hit you up so you
yeah,
could come and see the
yeah.
game. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and Senator Janelle Sarro was at FAU at
She
that
was at
time.
FAU at that time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
She
crazy. I
was
didn't
at
even know
FAU at
that.
the time.
Yeah,
Yeah, she
yeah.
was originally supposed she was coming to FIU and then last minute she decided to go to FAU. And we
Wow.
played against each other
Man,
a
that's
couple of times. That was
how was that?
intense.
How
That
was
was
that?
great. That was the most of all my 4 years in college and playing. The game that I played against, Janelle, I felt I felt like on top of the world because I know her and we were
Yeah.
competing against each other. We were in college and we played together in high school and playing against each other in college. It was just, the highlight of the whole my whole college career, honestly.
Man, that's awesome. That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, being
Hmm.
able to play against somebody that you play with and competed with against each other growing up, that's definitely a great feeling.
Yeah, and that
You
game
guys,
was very, very competitive because it reminded me of high school. We competed against each other in high school because she came in as a freshman. I think I was a junior or senior or something, and at the
yeah.
time at that time I was the star on the volleyball team, and here comes this young freshman. She was jumping out of the gym, and I was like, this girl ain't about to show me off on my senior year.
Yeah.
And so we would compete against each other, throughout high school. It was fun.
Yeah, that's fun. When you compete with some great against great athletes, it brings the best out of you. So,
Oh yeah, it certainly
you know.
does. Certainly does.
And plus FIU and FAU is kind of like, do you consider,
Rivals.
yeah, it's like rivals, right?
Yeah,
Because
it is
yeah,
rivals. Yeah.
usually all the schools in Florida, colleges in Florida is like rivals, but like
Yeah, they
FIU
are
and
rivals.
FIU is like right there. So
Hmm.
you guys went to some good schools. Those two schools is
Yeah,
real good
yeah.
schools. Nice
My
campus and
first year
everything.
at FIU, we won conference and went to the NCAA tournament.
How was that experience?
Oh
Like,
my goodness. Listen, first of all, coming from the islands, like just going to college in the States, it's everything is grand, compared to, you know, being on a small island. And so even orientation at the school was grand. I was like, what is happening right now? This is intense. Like
yeah,
cheerleaders flipping all over the place. I'm like, what is going on here?
yeah. Some
Coming from
people,
a little small island, we ain't used to none of that kind of stuff. So then when we were going to conference, we played conference in Denver, Colorado, and my coach Cookie, apparently she knows more than everybody else. She got us there like a week before so that we can get used to the altitude. Now, again, coming from the islands, I have no idea what that means. What does altitude
Mm,
mean?
yeah,
They're like, you gotta get your lungs have to get used to the altitude. I'm like, whatever. I'm just going through
that's
the flow
true.
at this point. It's my first year. And then we ended up winning the tournament and going on
Nice.
to the NCAA. And I remember my teammates being so excited because the kids in the States, they understand what that is. They understand what winning conference is. We don't understand what that is. We just came
Yeah,
from Ireland. We just like to play the sport.
yeah. No, it's true. It's true.
They were super excited, and then it was such a big deal when we came back from winning conference. Half of the school was outside with like signs, and I'm like, "What is going on?" Like, I'm so confused. And then we ended up playing University of Florida um in the NCAA tournament. We lost,
Mm.
but it was such a great experience. Everybody was like so excited, and it was like my first year of college sports, so it was definitely an experience to remember.
Man, that's an amazing experience, man. For
Yeah.
real. How was the? I've been to Colorado when I was playing in the minor leagues. How was it? How was it to you? Because I could remember jogging, and I was like, man, I can't breathe. Like you could feel it. I'm not sure what
Yeah,
you
it
guys because you
felt
guys in the gym, but
no, like our coach literally had us outside running around the hotel, right?
mm,
And so when I had trouble breathing, I felt like it maybe was the cold. I'm not used to the cold, why I
yeah,
couldn't breathe, but I don't know. I don't know how this weather thing, and then my skin was all dry. I was like, oh, can we just go hurry up and go back to Florida? But I guess our lungs got used to it, and then we ended up competing and winning. So I guess my coach didn't know what she was talking about.
yeah, yeah. No, your
Yeah.
coach was right. Yeah, because you gotta get used to it. You know,
Yeah, you
you got
get used to
you
it.
got
And that was
yeah.
the first time I saw snow
Oh, nice,
was in
nice.
it was in
Damn, so it was
Denver.
real cool up there.
Yeah, but for you guys,
Jeez.
don't you play outside?
Yeah, we play outside, but during that time, that's during the summer though. Minor league baseball. So
Okay, okay,
yeah, so it's
okay.
not really that cold during that
That's
time. But
really awesome. Minor leagues. That's amazing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was fun. It was fun. But I was 2 years in Iowa, so I dealt with the cold.
Oh
So I
yes.
I know the
Yes.
feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my best
yeah.
friend went to med school in Iowa, and she would call me all the time. She's like, "Stay on the phone with me. There's ice on the road." I'm like, "Girl, I don't even know what that means, but okay."
No, for real. It ain't no joke. It ain't no joke. When she went to Iowa State, or University of Iowa, or
I don't remember which one. I just knew that she was in Iowa, and she would call me all the time to like stay on the phone with her because the weather was terrible.
yeah, the weather. Yeah, it's terrible up there. It's bad, blizzards and all kind of stuff.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it's funny you say that because they had a time we went to me and my teammates. We went and those guys was drinking, so I was the designated driver, so I was driving and I hit this bridge. It's kind of like a little short bridge where you just go over real quick or whatever because I guess the river. And man, when I hit the bridge, and I wasn't driving fast, I was driving his Durango,
Hmm.
and as soon as I hit it, man, I lost control of the vehicle. Like the vehicle just start skidding on the ice and all kind of
Oh my
stuff. So your friend say stay
gosh.
on the phone because yeah, it's for real.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness, that's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
I
That
see
was
the
like
videos
sophomore year.
now, with social media, you see the videos. I'm like,
Yeah,
do these people not know that there's a Florida?
yeah.
I would not live in those places. I'll be in Florida in a minute.
No, it's true, man. It's true. It's true. It's true. How was that adjustment like going into college? Like being away from your family. I know you're in Florida, so you probably have a lot of VI people maybe around or nearby. But how was the transition like? Like were you living in the dorms or were you living off campus? Like,
The transition wasn't for me. I don't know. I feel like I'm like a chameleon where I go anywhere and just become a part of that situation. And so when I moved away, like I played volleyball all my life. I was in the gym all my life. And so when I moved away, I didn't get homesick because the weather was the same.
true.
And I was recruited at the same time. There was a couple other freshmen, and so we just became friends, and we were there for each other. And so I don't think I was ever homesick, which is crazy to say. Like I've heard of many people saying that they're homesick, they miss home. I didn't. I was fine the whole entire time because I made friends. My teammates were amazing. They were so welcoming. They understood, like, coming from the island, that that it must be hard for me, and so they were so welcoming that I was fine the whole time. I didn't miss home.
Yeah, that's good though. That's good.
That's
Man,
probably the first time you're hearing that, right?
yeah. When I left, I was homesick. Well, I was in Iowa, so it was a whole different ballgame because I was like the
Oh
only
yeah, for
black
sure. You
person
would
in the
get homesick
class.
immediately.
Yeah, for sure. If I'm the only black person in the class and I got a heavy accent and
Oh yeah, you
yeah, so
stood
it was,
out like a
yeah, I
sore
stood out.
thumb.
Yeah, so but everybody was cool though. Like I had fun there and stuff like that. They were
Yeah.
nice people. I had no issues whatsoever, no type of racial, nothing. So it was
Okay.
good. It ended up
Yeah,
being a
FIU
good
is very
experience.
diverse. It's a very diverse like campus. And
Yeah,
so, it's in Miami, so there's a lot of Cubans, there's a lot of Haitians, there's just a mixture. And so I feel like that's why I didn't feel homesick, because it was just a mixture of, different cultures and races and stuff. And so I felt right at home.
that's good. That's good. So what did you study when you was in FIU?
At first I didn't know what to study. It's like you're playing sports,
Yeah,
you get a full scholarship, you're like, now what? Right?
yeah, no, it's
And
true.
so I studied criminal justice because I did have plans of, going to law school and becoming a lawyer. And I was interested in, fighting for laborers. So being a labor
Okay,
lawyer
nice.
or an immigration lawyer, since I immigrated to here. That
Yeah.
was my plan until,
Okay, that's nice. Nice. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that was your plan. So what ended up happening?
That was my plan. My last year in college, I met my husband. And you know how it is when you're young.
Yeah,
You that went out the door,
I got you.
basically. Yep.
Yeah, things change real fast.
Yes, and then once you
Yeah.
have kids, it's like, the dream. It's their dream now.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
try to
that's
make
true.
their dream come true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. But did you so do you still keep in contact with some of your teammates from FIU that you
Oh
met
yeah,
when you
yeah.
did?
I have a few, like, sometimes when they visit the islands, they always let me know. They're like, "We're on a cruise, come see us."
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, where's a good place to go? And sometimes when I go to, Orlando, I, hit up a few of my teammates. But you know how, when you have kids, everybody's working, and so you get there and it's like everybody's so busy,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
you don't really get to meet up. But you see each other on Facebook all the time. You see them get married, you see them have kids, you see everybody grow up.
Yeah, it's true. The world changed. The world changed so much.
It has. Yep.
So as far as playing, how was the adjustment coming from the Caribbean to FIU playing college volleyball just because you're playing a lot more games, your schedule, the travel compared to the amount of games you played in high school is night and day. So like how was that adjustment like for you?
It's a big adjustment, just from the training, from the time you go there about a week before or 2 weeks before other students arrive at the campus. You have 3 a days. That's what they called it, where you have three practices a day.
Yeah,
You would have one at 6 a.m., then another one at 11 a.m., then another one again. And these are like 3 hour increment practices where you're going for 2 weeks straight. So it at first it was a lot. You're like, wow, this is intense. This is the real deal. But once school starts, you go to class, You go to your classes in the morning, you go to practice. Practice is like 3 hours long usually. You would probably spend a whole day just spiking balls. And you're like, when is this going to end? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the training was intense. And then like when game time came, it's like you warm up for like 3 hours. So I wasn't used to that because my thing is my thought was if you warm up for 3 hours, what energy do you have for the game? That was
Yeah.
always my thought. To this day, it's still my thought, but that's how it goes in college. You sit down, you talk about the other team that you're playing, you watch tapes. We're not
Yeah.
used to that. You talk
Yeah.
about who's the main hitters, who's the main players. There's so much like involved in like college sports that coming from an island, you're not used to that.
That's true. That is so true. That's true.
Yep, the training, the running. I did not like running. Every Monday we had to run a time mile. We had to run a mile in like 6 minutes and 25 seconds.
Oh,
Like I'm
jeez.
like,
That's rough.
what in the you're basically sprinting a mile. So it's like coming from the island, you're not even used to that. And then you have a weight coach. You know what my weight coach told me what the first time I went to work out? He was like, Miriam, are there now no weights in the Virgin Islands? Because literally I couldn't even lift up the bar to do a bench press.
For
I
real?
was like
Wow.
I was this little skinny kid coming up there. He's like, oh my goodness. Yeah, he had to work on me the first year. But by the next year, I caught on.
You
But,
got,
coming
yeah.
from the islands, we do have, that, well, at the time, we do have that disadvantage. And I feel like that's why, coaching now and also, being there for my kids that, I went through that experience. And so I can pass it on to upcoming players that want to play in college so that they know what to expect when they get there.
When they get there, yeah. They're not surprised or shell shocked
Yeah, they're
or
not.
anything,
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
So what position were you playing at FIU?
I played outside hitter.
Outside hitter?
Yeah, because when you move up there, the girls up there are tall.
Yeah.
Like I was considered tall in St. Thomas, but literally I was like the fourth shortest person out of 12 people on my
Wow,
team.
really?
Yeah, and so I jumped really high, so I guess that's what that I was recruited for. Um, yeah, but everybody else was like 6'4" and like all the way up there, and so we're short down here in the islands.
But
Even now when we travel, we see the players. We're like, wow, this chick is. How is she even 12? He's like 6'4". That's crazy.
yeah, man,
That's crazy.
ain't no joke, man. Ain't no joke. We don't know,
Yeah,
man.
it's not a game up there at all.
Yeah, some parents might be injecting their kids with HGH and stuff like that. You know.
I don't know what's going on, but these kids are like extremely tall and athletic at their age.
But aren't you like 6'1" or something?
No, I mean that's what they listed on the college page, but I'm only 5'9".
Really?
I'm
Oh, I
only
thought
five
you was
nine.
taller
Yep.
than that. In high school, I thought you
Everybody
was like
thinks I'm
6 foot.
taller than that because I have long legs and so I look way taller than I actually am. But
Wow.
thankfully I had hops,
Yeah, yeah, that's true. You had hops.
I had
You know.
hops. Not like Mumba. Mumba had some hops in high school. Oh my
Yeah, I
god.
had some. I
I
had
remember
some.
he
Yeah.
played volleyball the first year. I'm like, how is that even possible? You like jumping way above everybody.
Hey, you know it was just the will to be the best. That's what it was for me.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, naturally athletic.
Yeah, because you know what's funny? I got one of my high school tapes, right? And I was looking at my high school basketball tape, and I was like, geez, I swear I was like the best of the best. And when I look back at my tape now, listen, I'd be like, man, that was garbage.
I know. And that's the thing. Like now I try to when you play in high school, you're like the star of the
Yeah,
island. Every time you step on the court, you're a star. I try to make the players understand that here on this small island, you are a star, but you have to humble yourself because when you go up to the States, there's like, thousands of more kids that have that same ability. And so you have
yeah,
to humble yourself. You have to train to get to where you want to get. Don't, down here it's small island, so we have big heads, We're
yeah,
like,
yeah. No,
yeah,
it's
we
true.
the
Yeah,
star. And then
yeah,
you
it's
look
true.
back, you're like, no, you're
Yeah,
not.
yeah. That wasn't that good. No, yeah, it's true. It's true. It really humbles you when you get to the States because it's like everybody's trying to get to where you get to, and your teammates is pretty much gonna be as good as you or better than you. That's why they
Exactly.
that's why they are where they are. You know,
Yep.
yeah,
I had players on my team from Croatia, from
unbelievable. Yeah,
Russia, from Germany. And so yeah, when you mix in with that, you really don't start anymore. You gotta work hard to keep up and to prove yourself on the court.
yeah, it's true. It's true. What wa- what was your mentality as an athlete? Like for instance, like my mentality, I just would do anything to be like I just felt like I had to do anything to be the best. Like that was my focus, just being the best and win. I was doing anything possible to win. Like I never had no fear or worry about anything. Like how was like your mentality as an athlete?
My mentality was basically the same thing. Like I felt like every time there was a competition, like I wanted to be the best person, the best player. You know what I mean? Like to me, it was. I don't want to say it was war, but it was all. I always felt like that passion that,
Yeah,
like, I want to win. I want to be great. Kind of thing. Regardless of whether I was playing volleyball or basketball.
yeah,
Like even to this day, when I step on the court, even though I'm playing against these kids, and like my face is like serious. Like this is not a game. Like I'm about to like spike this ball in your face, kind of thing.
yeah.
That was always my mentality. Even when we
Nice.
traveled to like St. Croix, I remember like always like being to myself. I remember my teammates used to be over there hanging out, and I'm like, this ain't no hangout. I'm here to win this tournament. I'm here to win MVP. That was always like my mentality every time I step onto the court.
Yeah, that's the mentality you need to have. That's the mentality you definitely need to have. We have a question here from one of the viewers. Who was your biggest rival in high school and college?
Rival, like what? Like school, like a school or a player or something.
I would we go let's go we could you could answer both. You could go player and school that you
Okay,
felt.
so in high school, of course, I played Charlton Molly. So the biggest rival was always, the Devil Rays for basketball, but Antilles Hurricanes for volleyball.
Mm,
That's who the rival was for volleyball. And then for basketball, it was always, the Devil Rays, the Hurricane Devil Rays was my rival for basketball. And in college, the biggest rival I think in college was Western Kentucky University. That was who we beat our first year because they
wow.
had won the conference for a few years, before I got there, and then that first year I got there, we ended up beating them. And as far as players, my biggest rival, can you imagine? My biggest rival in high school was Senator Saru because she was this fresh little young player. She was fearless like myself. She had the drive like myself. And I'm like, this little freshman is not gonna come here and beat my spot, take my spot kind of
Yeah.
thing. And she had hops. This girl come out, she would just effortlessly jump out of the gym, so I would go home and do calf raises. I'm like, this
Mm,
girl ain't gonna jump higher than
nice.
me. So that in high school on my own team, that was my biggest rival.
What about college? Any players from opposite schools? Anybody that was like a rival or
Mm, only Saru when we played against her at
when you played?
FAU.
Ah, how
And can you
was
imagine when I first came back from college? She was actually teaching at CAHS at the time, and she was the one that asked me to come assist her with coaching, and that was my first
oh
my
beautiful.
first year of coaching, ever. Where when I came back, it was Janelle who asked me to come help out.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
Everything that you learn, abroad, you brought it back and help the kids, help the athletes.
yeah.
How was your preparation like? as an athlete? Before the game, were you like, did you listen to music? Did you read a book? Did you meditate? Was there anything like you did? Any type of certain food you ate?
No, I just listen to music and try to tune out, everything, and try to remain focused and get in the zone. Get in the zone, listen to some crazy music.
So you mentioned, so after pretty much your career, how was your senior year? How was your senior year at FIU? How was your senior season?
Oh, I'll see. My senior year at FAU was not very good,
Wow,
honestly. We just couldn't win games. It was rough. It was a rough last year there, but yeah, it was a rough year, to the point where they had to bring in a psychologist to try to figure out, why aren't you
really?
guys winning? I'm like, what is happening? Like,
Wow,
we just need to go out there and play. That was always my thing. But then we just couldn't win games. I don't know what was going on, really, honestly.
wow.
Yeah.
That's so serious it be sometimes when
Yeah,
it's
we had a
you
really
know.
terrible losing season my senior year.
How was your coaches? How was your coaches?
Oh, my coach was great. Cookie, she's amazing. She's an amazing woman. She was almost like a mother to me when I was at FIU. Um, Very welcoming. She was very strict. The year before I came, there was a couple players that lost their scholarship because they were drinking at a party. And so I always, like, coming from such a small island and knowing that there's so many coaches that put, their time and effort into me, like, Coach Charlie Davis, Coach Corbett for basketball, Mr. Ronald Blyden, who was my club coach. There were so many people that put so much time into me that I didn't want that to be me. I don't want to lose my scholarship. And so most of my years in college, I've heard players talk about, going there and partying. Like, I didn't party in college at all, because I had that fear of, losing my scholarship and
Yeah.
embarrassing my coaches that put so much time into me. Cookie, she was a Christian, and so she had some weird rules. You couldn't do a lot of things in college. She didn't want us to drink soda, like simple
Oh
little things like
gosh.
that.
Yeah.
So myself and my teammates, like, before the games, we used to run. The facilities would be so big, and they'd have
Yeah.
the little vending machines. We used to run and go pop a little Mountain Dew and sneak drink a Mountain Dew in the stall, so Cookie don't know. Like, that was my partying in college, like drinking
Wow.
soda. But I didn't want to lose my scholarship. I just, didn't want to let, my coaches down, because, coming from Guadeloupe, coming from Dominica, I wasn't used to any of these things, and they put that time into me, give me, the opportunity to play college sport, and so I
Yeah.
didn't want to let anybody down in the islands down. So I made sure I did what I was supposed to do, and, to finish up my 4 years in college.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Is Cookie still coaching at FIU, or she moved on or retired?
No, she moved on. She was coaching at it was a big college, Division 1 as well, in California. I can't remember which one it was, but she coached there for a few years, and I think she's retired now.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is, like, one year I was vacationing in Puerto Rico, and then I stepped onto the elevator, and Cookie's in there.
Really?
She was in the elevator. She was there for a volleyball tournament. It's so random.
Someone said USC.
Yes. Uh
You
huh.
oh USC. That's where she coached at
I
USC.
think it was
Oh,
USC.
he didn't
Yeah,
know who she
Cookie.
is.
Yeah, Cookie's
Yeah, Hayden.
amazing.
Yeah, Hayden. Yeah, Hayden
That
knows.
lady definitely don't
Yeah.
know what she's doing.
So we have a question here as well from another viewer. Uh, so did
Jasan,
you,
that's my classmate. Hi, Jasan.
as a classmate? That's my roommate, my teammate in college.
Really?
Yeah, we went to
Yeah,
Betulta
Jasan went
together.
to Shata Bali together.
Yeah. So did you or do you find any value in at least talking to a psychiatrist?
A psychologist to help
Sorry,
them be
psychologist.
successful.
Yeah, yeah, to help them be
Um,
successful.
when I went to school, I didn't quite understand it because we didn't really grow up in that age where, we talk to anyone about anything, honestly. But now for sure, I see, the importance, of of teenagers basically, talking to a psychologist and, someone to help them figure out their way. As a parent, you try to assist, but I feel like nowadays teenagers do need, someone who can help them, to assist them to be, to know, their importance, and so that they could be successful.
You 100% correct. I was just thinking because I remember when I was playing in the minor leagues, the Mariners they brought in man, I wonder if he was a psychologist or was he something else, but he used to come in and we will have to do like meditate and think positive and positive affirmations and all kind of stuff. Close your eyes and it was a lot of stuff. So but I don't
Yeah,
know.
we did that my last year in college. That
Yeah,
when we couldn't win, they tried everything. I'm like,
yeah.
and I didn't understand it, but I
I think
guess
it's
nowadays it's needed.
yeah, it's needed, but I think it's needed more in a one-on-one setting than a group setting.
In a group, yeah, because you're always afraid to say what you really want to say your feelings in a group setting than if you're one on one. You're right.
Yeah, and plus, what you struggling with that's making you not perform the way how you supposed to perform could be totally different than what I'm struggling with as well too.
Yes,
Like you could be struggling with confidence or afraid to make a mistake, whatever the case may be, and I could be dealing with some family issues or something. So,
correct.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's totally different. So
It varies. And
yeah,
so
it
when you try
varies.
to
Yeah,
have it as a group, then you might not get the result that you want
yeah,
if you have it as
so
a group instead of individually. That's correct.
yeah,
Hmm.
because you might be the reason why you might be performing the way you perform is probably because you're frustrated because of your teammates not holding up their end of the bargain and you feel like you have to do
Correct.
more and it's actually hurting you. So it could be so much,
And
you
then you
know.
can't voice that opinion because you're in that group.
Yeah,
You don't want to step on any toes. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, so yeah, but it's definitely needed. I think it's very important and
Hmm.
helpful. You know, I'll give I remember when I was playing when I was playing baseball, it had a point of time where and I never was like this, but I got to this point where I was afraid to make mistakes as a pitcher. Like I was
Hmm.
afraid to walk people. Like I was afraid. Like I was literally like afraid that it was actually hurting me. Like
Yeah.
like it was hurting me. Like and I always think back, I'd be like, man, you know what it is too? It was just that I got to a higher level and it wasn't about computing anymore. It was about just being successful because you
Yeah.
were so for the money that my
Okay.
mind went towards that and I lose the spark of just being competitive because I was more worrying about my ERA being good and not walking worrying about stats,
Yes.
and
Instead
then
of
when
actually going out there and playing.
so I know how I know how that could be, so but
Yeah, I had my time in that in college too, where I the confidence was gone, honestly,
yeah,
because you're playing with a lot of great athletes, and so sometimes you do lose your confidence, and if you
yeah,
do lose your confidence, then it's definitely going to affect your game.
it
It's
is.
going to affect your game if you're not confident in what you're doing, then that would kill your game completely.
Yeah,
And I did suffer with that in college.
yeah. It's like when you are a confident person and you are especially I won't say a confident person, but when you're a confident athlete, like we talked about earlier, like you mentioned, like it was like war and it was just like you was just win.
Hmm.
When you that type of athlete and then you lose that, that's like that's what made you who you are. That what got you to where
Yes.
when you lose that, it's like you got nothing. It's like
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
And
yeah,
I at some point in college I did get to that point.
yeah,
Unfortunately, I got to that point where I'm like, am I even supposed to be here? You question yourself.
yeah.
Like, do I
It's
even
true.
deserve to be here kind of thing? And that affects your game. Once you lose your confidence, that's it.
Yeah, it's
That's
true.
why that's why
It's true.
like coaching now, like sometimes if I see a player start to lose their confidence, like I'll pull them to the side and be like, you're a great player, you're a great passer. You try to build back that confidence because if that player loses that, then they're completely out of the game.
Yeah, you know that it's true, and I'm the same way too. Like with my son, and just like other players as well too. I was telling like have fun and believe yourself. Learn from your
Hmm.
mistakes. Trying to use the negative as a positive and stuff like that. Because like you said, once you lose your confidence, especially at that young age, because I never lost
Yeah.
my confidence at a young age. Like I never
Yeah,
lost
we
it.
were
It was
just
always
raw.
there.
We were just,
Yeah,
yeah. Hmm.
so a player losing the confidence at that young age is I can't only imagine. It's tough for real. You know. So like so when you finish with your college career and everything, you move back to the Virgin Islands, and I know
Yeah.
you
Uh-huh.
mentioned
To
that
St. Thomas.
Saro asked you to help coach. So
Yeah, she was teaching at CHS at the time. Yeah.
how was that experience coaching for the first time? Knowing just being fresh from being an athlete.
It's a hard transition, honestly, I must say, especially being young and you were great and then now you have to teach, right? And sometimes it's hard to make that transition from a player to a coach. I actually feel like it took me years to get to that point. Janelle was the head coach. She's a great teacher. She has a lot of patience with the kids, but she'll push them, and sometimes she'll push them, but I'll be there as the assistant coach to bring them back, because sometimes you push them too hard, they
Yeah,
get
yeah,
a little down on themselves. So I used to be the one to be there to show some love, or sometimes it's vice versa. I will push the players and then she'll be there to show the
oh,
love. So we
nice.
bounce back off of each other a few times, but it is a hard transition to go at a young age from a player, to a coach. Like now I'm more learning how to really coach, and
Yeah,
teach and have that patience and be motivating. It takes a while to get there.
it does. It does. Excuse me. So we have a question here from one of the viewers. Did you ever represent the U.S. Virgin Islands in volleyball and or basketball? If so, how was that experience?
Yes, I don't remember what year exactly. I played for the national team, the national volleyball team. We traveled to Suriname. There was a couple other
Oh,
times
nice.
where I was on a team, but I had my daughter. She was really young at the time, and I didn't want to travel without her. I mean, I made the
Mhm.
team, but I didn't travel because I didn't want to travel without her. But I did. We did compete against Suriname. We ended up losing to them in the semifinals, but uh, that was a great experience. First of all, I didn't even know where Suriname was. We traveled all the way to South America. I don't even know where I am, but thankfully, I was surrounded by a few of great players from the islands as well. We had, I can't remember her last name. We had Elisa from St. Croix. We had Mel Simmons from St. Croix. We had Janelle Saro, Sasha Gums, Carissa, Kelly, a few of the players from
Yeah,
St. Thomas. So
some
it
good
was a
players.
fantastic team. It's a great
Yeah,
experience, to walk down, and all the um all the different islands and the countries have their flags. And at that time you're representing, the Virgin Islands. It's a great experience.
yeah, it is a great experience, especially visiting different countries. That like you said, you didn't even know where the place was.
I didn't even know where I was. I just jumped on the plane. I was like, oh wait, we're in a whole different
Yeah.
country.
Oh, Lisa Brown.
Yes, I remember Lisa. Is Brown her last name though? I remember playing with Lisa. Lisa was on the team too. I don't think Brown was her last name at the time though. And somebody said 2010, I guess. I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay, we have a name, Lisa Anthony. I have a name, Anthony.
What I remember playing with a okay, Lisa Thomas played at
Lisa
Charlotte
Thomas.
Tamale. Yes, Lisa Thomas. So I don't know what her last name is now. But yeah, she was on that team as well.
So the type of player you was, and now the type of coach, like you mentioned, like take a while to transition as a coach. Are you the type of player you was? Are you that type of coach, like as intense, or you found that place where you more laid back and you know when you have to strike that match to really be intense?
When I first started coaching, I was the type of coach like how I was a player. Like it was just like intense and passionate and go 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 and like if we lost a game, it was like the end of the world for me. Like at that time, I was immature.
Yeah.
And now I just found there's a balance, especially now with kids, you have to motivate them in order for them to be better. But at the same time, the type of coach that I am, I try to be disciplined because I feel like if you're not disciplined on and off the court, if you're showing up to practice late and thinking it's okay, I feel like when you get on the court, it's gonna be the same thing. So I try to be disciplined as far as okay, this is the time of practice. You guys make sure you show up on time, and if you're not, then you're probably gonna have to run or do whatever. And there's no ands, ifs, or buts about it because at the end of the day, we're traveling to play teams that play all the time. And so if you're not disciplined on and off the court, then when you get on the court, then you're gonna have a struggle. So I try
This
to
is
balance between both, being passionate as well as, teaching. I think right now in St. Thomas it's more teaching the fundamentals and the skills. And then, when great things happen, you get passionate as well because you want your players to be passionate about the sport.
yeah. That's true. That's true. I think yeah, it's because it's totally different playing and coaching. Because when you're a player, it's like it's your makeup is who you are. You know what pushes your buttons. You know where you got to turn to get that energy, get that fire. But as a coach, you're responsible for so many different players. It's like you have to. Each player is totally different. Players is gonna respond different. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's tough. I could imagine the transition. Especially from a player to a coach, it could be kind of
Yeah, that's
difficult.
why that's why I like coaching the younger players because right now there's probably going on and we're playing against we playing against 15 and under, 16 and under, 17 and under. So we play against the older players. And so I rather coach the younger players because as a player, I am more intense than as a coach. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to look at one of my players that I coach across the net because when I'm playing, I'm a different person, honestly.
Yeah,
That passion comes out of you. Like, I'm not going to feel sorry for you. I will spike the ball in your face, kind of thing.
yeah, yeah. No, it's a
So I
competitiveness.
rather
Yeah.
coach. Yeah, I rather coach and teach the fundamentals to the younger players to get them, to be, more advanced.
Do you, as a coach, do you kind of go like when the game is finished? Do you like analyze your game? Do you like go back and think back on how you could have do better? Do you think like, oh, I should have never maybe scream at the kid like that, or I should have do this more, do that more? Are you really, really hard on yourself like that?
Before, like, what remember I told you there's two different eras of when I was coaching. When I was younger, when I look back at it now, I was a little too intense on some of the players sometimes. Like the kids were just having a good time, and I would be like, the used to say this is like the championship of the NCAA kind of thing. And now it's a lot different now, where I have a little bit more patience.
Yeah, that's the right
Things
word,
doesn't
patience.
go
Yeah.
go right, then better, or make the team, make the team better, So I don't like, I will tell the team, what we can work on, and immediately in my mind I already know, okay, we got to work on this the next practice. So I think of drills to work on to get them to that level, instead of, you know, getting up, like before I would get upset, like, why aren't you doing this the way I taught you how to do it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
now I'm like, okay, I need to think of, drills. Maybe they didn't get it. Maybe another drill will help them to get there. So like I said, I've matured a lot more than before.
and I really, and I commend you on that, because you know a lot of coaches, a lot of coaches, they don't be honest with themselves. They don't look themselves in the mirror and really be honest with themselves. And especially, and you have accomplished a lot, so you got a good profile. You got good history. So for you to really like humble yourself and change and see what you did wrong, and work on getting better and stuff. I definitely commend you on that, because a lot of coaches, they just kind of, a lot of coaches still stuck in their ways, and
Yeah.
really and truly, it really, really hurts the kids. But you kind of, you have made changes, and you know, and it was the benefit for the commend you for that, because
Thank you.
because in order to be a good coach, you gotta be able to look yourself in the mirror and be honest with yourself and learn from
Yeah,
your
for sure.
mistakes, you know.
For sure.
So
And if your team is not performing, you have to reevaluate just the situation and see, okay, where did I go wrong? What did I do? You have to look at yourself in the mirror, like you said, and see
yeah,
what you can work on to get the team there. Because honestly, it's a reflection of yourself as well.
that's true. That's true. Is there any is there any mentors, like any coaching mentors you had when you start getting involved in coaching? Like, is anybody you call just to pick their brain or talk to, or ask them like, hey, you think I'm doing this right, etc.?
I didn't call anyone. I think the maturity came from me being a mom, and my daughter is playing, and so I had to look at a different, angle of, doing things. Like, maybe the whole passionate thing isn't quite gonna work with now. Like, I need to have a little bit more patient, look at different ways to, get to a solution than how I used to. But I do remember my coaches. I remember Mr. Davis. um, he was very patient with us. We were a team full of crazy, I want to say crazy black girls, and he was this one little white guy with these crazy black girls acting all wild and crazy, and he had so much patience with us. And then I look at Myron Corbett. He was our basketball coach. This man was so intense. Like, I remember
Yeah,
him just like screaming and yelling like a crazy person. And then as a player, when I remember that, I'm like, he loved the sport so much, right? He put so much time into us, but like, he didn't understand why we weren't getting it. And so you look at yourself like, okay, look, if I was Myron at this point in time,
yeah,
I understood his passion, but sometimes the way it would come out as a player, you see a difference. So I try to like look at Mr. Davis, look at Myron, and try to mesh, the passion with the patience at the same time. Ooh,
yeah.
passion and patience. I like that.
No, that's 100% correct. It's
Yeah,
true, because you know, because it goes back. It's a team, so everybody's not going to respond the same.
the same
Everybody's
way.
not going to respond the same.
Hmm.
And I like what you said, because you put yourself, you remember how he was, and you remember how you was when you was playing for him.
Yes.
And that's the big thing about coaching. Because for instance, like with me, I don't like playing for coaches who yell a lot.
Hmm.
You know, but when I used to coach and volunteer coach, I didn't feel like I was yelling, but really and truly I was yelling.
You.
You know, yeah, because it's like it's the passion. That's what it is. So because you're so passionate that it comes out by yelling. And
Yes.
then your body language, you might make up your face, or you make up your face because remember you are athlete. You're an athlete first. So
Yeah,
high
you have that.
intensity, but the
Hmm.
kids gonna see your face
Like
and they
you,
think like, yeah, like this guy
like she's
crazy.
mad at me and she's yelling
Yeah,
at me, and then they become small, and that's not what you want as a coach. You want them to rise up to the occasion. So if you yell at them, they become small. Then you're defeating the whole purpose. You know.
yeah. So that's the thing. Is like that's why that's you dropping some you dropping some gems. You dropping some gems tonight. It's true because like I really like one thing I do like, and I use my son for example. Like I go to basketball games and I really watch how the coaches coach kids. Because it's very important. To have a good coach and stuff like that. A coach who's open minded, a coach who's passionate, but at the same time, a coach who could build the players' confidence and stuff like that. And I feel like that's very, very important. And because I end up playing, professional. So I played at a very high level and I played with
Hmm.
a lot of different coaches and I bumped heads with some coaches and I really admired and really appreciate a lot of coaches what it did for me and stuff like that. So like I didn't realize how important coaching was until like I actually walked away from the game, from the sport. I really sit back and then I watched my son play for different coaches and I realized like, man, some of these coaches can't really coach. Like some of these
Yes.
coaches don't know what they're doing, you
Yeah.
know. But then, but for you, that's why I said like, you was able to look yourself in the mirror and make changes and make adjustments,
Yeah.
and then for you to like bring up that analogy when you played for your coach, Corbett and how, etc., which is important because, you know, honestly, in the time where we live in now is like, every ain't too many coaches have your mentality where they could go back to the drawing board and see how they could be better, and stuff like that. A lot of coaches feel like once they get that title, that's how it is, and you can always learn no matter what. You can
Yes,
always learn as a
exactly.
coach, so
Yeah.
you have to be willing to have that open mind where you can learn,
Yeah.
so
There's always room for improvement. I mean, I'm not perfect, but
yeah,
you can look at another coach that's successful, and try to pick up from that, like get information from that, and have it mesh with what you already know to
yeah,
become better. There's always room for improvement, so you can't just sit down and be like, I'm great and that's it. That's not how it works.
yeah, that's true. It's very true, very true. So being a former player, being a coach, and then you're a parent of athletes, how is like as a parent, take away the coaching, take away the former player, like how are you laughing? How is like being a parent, like how, like really, like when you watching your daughters play, like how you like, are you like are you the parent that's yelling, are you the parent that's quiet because you're like super intense and you was a player that let me just relax, like what type of parent are you when you're watching your
um
kids play?
I'm a mixture of both. Like I said, my older daughter, she's quieter. She's like a little quiet storm on the court. And so I feel like if I yell, I'll get her out of her game. And
Mm,
so I'll just be there, just a regular, good job, honey. I'll be that kind of parent to her.
yeah,
And then my younger player, she's intense. She reminds me of myself when I was younger. And so she wants me to see everything that she's doing. And if I miss anything, and she wants me to get excited. Whereas my older daughter, she doesn't want all the attention. So
yeah,
if she does something good, then you just good job and just keep it at that. But it being a parent and of athletes, there's long conversations on the way home. Like sometimes I have to be hard on her. I'm like, you weren't where you were supposed to be. I'm not afraid to tell her that,
yeah,
because if I want her to become a better player, you have to tell them the truth.
very true.
And as a coach, going back as a coach, I feel like some parents, they don't want their kids to be told the truth. But if you want your child to become a better player, your child has to know the truth. They have to hear it. And
Have
so
to.
as a parent, I'm not afraid to tell my daughter. I was like, girl, I would be like, girl, You are out of the game today. You get yourself out of the game. Why? Because my oldest, she suffers from confidence sometimes, and so I'd be like, you lost your confidence from like the first set, and you got yourself out of the game, and so I have to talk her back. You're a great player. You can do that. As a parent, that's what that's what I do. And then my oldest, my youngest, she's still young. She's super intense, and so um I'm just trying to be there just because I remember I told you I don't know if I want to coach my younger one because she
Yeah,
reminds me of
yeah,
myself when I was younger. Yeah, so but being a parent, like sometimes being a parent of an athlete, especially you having to play that sport, you can't just build up the kid's head, be like, you're great, you're great, you're great, you're great. Everything you great, your other teammates ain't doing it, blah, blah, blah. You can't be that way. You
that's true.
have to you have to let them know when they are, when they're not doing what they're supposed to do so that they can work hard in fixing it and becoming a better player. For instance, like going to college and stuff where I had the weightlifting issue. So now with my daughter, I she goes to the gym, go
Mm,
work out, work on your vertical, work on, bench presses or different things, squats and different things that could make you a better player than to just, being okay with just being just a good player. There's others that are better. And so if you want to get there to the next level, you have to work hard.
very true. Very true. And that that's the good thing is like you experience a lot of stuff, so you able to pass it on to her. Because it's not just playing and winning and all the stuff. Is like the mental part of the game, the physical
Yes.
part of the game, as far as like you said, like lifting weights and stuff like that. That's important.
And
Your
being
older
able
dad.
to perform with different coaches too.
Yeah, it's
You have
true.
to, yeah, you have to be able to play for different style of coaching.
Yeah, and that's where the honesty comes into play. Like you
Hmm.
always got to be
You have to be
honest.
honest. You have to be
Yeah,
honest to them. As parents, you have to.
yeah,
If
because
you
some
want if you
coaches,
want them to be successful, you have to be honest with them.
100%, 100%. Because some coaches they're gonna be honest, and some coaches, they might not be as honest. And what I mean by that is like, some coaches they're gonna get on you and they're gonna be honest and they're gonna yell. But if you
Hmm.
was always if they was hearing it from their parent, they're gonna handle it a lot better than
Yeah,
if it was like you mentioned earlier, like you always like, oh, the other kids, blah blah blah. You know, if they kept hearing that growing up, and then when they start getting hard times when they get older, they won't be able to respond. You know,
exactly.
that's the thing. So like you say, it's important to be honest. Your older daughter remind me of my son, because that's how he is. He's not he's more like quiet and humble, and and stuff like that. So like with him it's like, I don't have to kind of like try not to be too hard, be hard but
Yeah,
not be too
yeah,
hard. But if I'm hard, sometimes I'll be hard at him, and then
yeah.
I'll apologize. I'll be like, hey man, son, my bad, man. I didn't mean to like scream at
Hmm.
you like that. I'll just like I just
You want them
I,
to be good.
yeah,
Yeah.
you want it to be good, and
Hmm.
care about you. And I tell them, I care about you and stuff like that, so don't take it
Yes.
personal. So I
Yeah, it's
always
important to tell them
explain.
that too.
Yeah,
That's very important.
so
It's a good thing you're doing that because that's
yeah.
important.
Yeah,
That's how my oldest is. She's the
yeah,
same way.
because it's like, remember, because we was talking about that earlier. It's like, you know, they see you as the parent, so they don't see you as like a coach.
Yeah.
And that's my thinking. Is like, sometimes they might still feel like, oh, mommy just being hard, maybe because that's mommy.
Hmm.
But they don't differentiate like, well, mommy played college volleyball, so yeah, I know why she telling me this,
Yeah.
vice
We
versa,
don't see it that way sometimes
yeah,
though.
so it's kind you always
It
gotta explain to them.
Yeah, after being on a team and playing, they sometimes come to you for that comfort. And so you have to know when to give that comfort and also when to give that constructive criticism, to help them to become a better player in whatever sport they're doing, because at the end of the day, all this sports and all that stuff, it prepares them for the real world. I sometimes tell my oldest, like, um not because you get a little bit of discomfort that means you just stop what you're doing and quit, because when you graduate from school, that's how the world is, you know? You can't quit every time you get a little bit of discomfort. You have to pull through, you have to work hard to get to where you want to be.
Yeah, it's true. You always got to find a way. Find a way to win.
Yep.
Find a way to win in everything. It's true. Sports is so important. Especially when you're an athlete, because like you say, it prepares you for life. It definitely prepares you for life. Because
Yep.
sports ain't gonna last forever. you
It's
know.
not. It's not. It's not. Especially now that I'm coaching like the 14 and under volleyball players, and so you could tell like most of the players they're just excited to just be a part of a team, but then they weren't sure of the hard work that it takes, and so they would come to practice late and feel like it's okay, and now they're learning. Now I could see that they're understanding that getting to practice late is unacceptable, missing multiple practices is unacceptable, but
Yes.
coming into it for the first time, they're just chilling, they're just like, oh, I'm part of this team, I got my uniform, they're all excited, but they didn't understand that, okay, you have to be disciplined in order to be a good team, a good player. You have to be disciplined. And I think like a lot of my players now, they're learning, okay, it's important to be on time, it's important to show up to practice and give a 100%. And I like that because it's teaching them from now so that in the future they can use that in their lives, like
Yeah.
knowing the importance of being disciplined and showing up to things on time.
That's being on time and not missing practices. Those two things. Those is my two biggest pet peeves. If I'm coaching a team and players missing
Oh my
practices or
gosh.
coming late, oh my, I'm a blow a gasket.
I know, I
I'm
know.
a, yeah, I'm gonna lose it. You know,
Yep.
I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah.
For
So
real.
that we're especially coming from the islands. I mean, we to be on island time,
Yeah,
but I'm trying to instill that in the players from now, so that as they continue to, go on to other things, that you made a commitment, right? So if you don't show
yeah,
up to practice, you're letting your teammates down. If you don't show up on time, it's not fair for the others that are showing up on time.
that's
So
true.
you are a group, you're a team, and so everybody should get here on time. Everybody should show up to practice. We win together, we lose together. And so yeah, my players are learning that this year for sure. Somebody say make them run.
Make them run. Yeah, make them. Hey, that's it
Yeah,
right there.
at the beginning of the season, I
That's
had to
true.
make them run. So now they don't want to run. They don't show up on time. They'll be there on
Yeah,
time. So, or if they're running late, because I know things happen. I let them know that I understand that things happen, but communication is a big thing for me. You don't just show up to my practice, strolling in, like what's going on? The rest of the team is on the court, and you strolling in. You had never sent me a message letting me know you're going to be late or anything. So communication, like a lot of the kids don't know how to communicate yet. That
yeah.
if you're late for something, you have to say. If you're not going to be there, you have to talk. You have to say something.
That's true. That's true. That's true. So you recently you traveled with your daughter's team and you guys went to Boston. Am I right? Boston.
Yeah.
How was that experience like for the players and also the coaching and the parents?
I mean, it was good. It was fun. A lot more fun than last year, right? Because we had COVID, and so we had 2 years of no sports, and then we traveled to Orlando last summer, and we lost every game. Like
It's tough.
volleyball never stopped in the States, especially not in Florida, right? So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
kids
It
the
never
kids were
stopped.
still playing, they were still training, and our kids were home. And so we went to Orlando. We lost all our games, but Boston was better. We won some games. Um, it's difficult, for being down here in the islands because we don't have the facilities to really train the way we want to train, and so we might have one practice a week. And thanks to Power League, we have two games for the weekends, but we're playing against teams that have 2 to 3 practices a week, and they travel almost every weekend to a different tournament.
Yeah.
And so they're playing constantly. And we're coming from one practice a week to two little games on the weekends. So it's hard to compete. But in
Yeah, that's
Boston, we
true.
were actually able to win some games. We have a lot of talent. It's just that we don't have the facilities to be able to train as much as as the players in the States. And why we were in Boston, we got approached a lot, because we were literally like the only like like all black team. You know what I mean?
Really?
So we got
Wow.
approached by a lot of people. Where are you guys from? Where are you from? We there are some people who are like, oh, we hope it snows so you guys could see snow, because we told them we were from the Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
And so we got a lot of attention because we do have a lot of talented kids down here. We just don't have the facility to train them,
Yeah, to train them.
constantly.
Yeah, being able to really build that muscle memory and be
Yes,
consistent.
exactly.
That's
Yeah.
that's so important. Yeah, the kids up here in the states, yeah, they get the advantage because, like you said, they have so many different facilities. They have the cool. You have a lot of places where you can actually use gyms and stuff, not just the schools, but you have rec centers, you have the YMCA, you
Mm-hmm.
have boys and girls club. So you have a lot of different places, and then you have outside courts that has volleyball nets all around the place. So there's a lot of areas where kids go practice and train. And then you still have like rec leagues and stuff like that up here too, that kids
Yeah.
could play besides their travel AAU travel teams. So they definitely have an advantage up here. So
Yeah. So one of your viewers said, don't forget Olivia and Lily. We have I think Lily's Frenchie, and Olivia, she's a white girl on our team. So the only reason I made that comment is because most teams in the States or in Boston, well, not just in Boston, in Florida as well, there's like one or two black girls, but we had the team that had the most,
yeah,
the
most,
black
yeah.
girls. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, yeah. It's true. It's true. Most of the teams up here dominantly is more, white Caucasian players,
Hmm.
and then you have a couple, black kids, Latin, etc., and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah.
But did the players have fun? Did they have fun? Was it a good experience for them and
Yeah, it was
everything?
a great experience. We really enjoyed the tournament in Boston, and then also before the tournament started, they had a showcase before the day before, where there was some college coaches there, and they were running drills, different drills, and they were playing. So they could be noticed by coaches that were looking for
Oh, that's
players as well. So
that's
that was
awesome.
a new experience, because usually when we go to AAU, I don't remember I don't remember them having a showcase, but in Boston they had it. So that was a great experience for the players
Oh,
as
that's
well.
awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what age group was this?
This is the 18 and under. So we do have a few seniors. We have a couple seniors on that team.
Oh, hopefully they get something.
Yeah, some
They get
calls.
opportunity to,
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be
You know.
awesome. Because we have some really good talent. Just that we don't get as much exposure as the players up there. We don't
And
get to
was
travel as much because it's expensive too.
Yeah, it is expensive. Yeah, that's true. That's
Coming
true.
from the islands, to travel up there.
And what was the and you guys went to Boston last year too? You said.
No.
Oh, this is your first
Last year
time.
we went to Georgia.
Oh,
So
Georgia.
last year we
Okay.
went to Georgia, and then we went to Orlando. This year we went to Boston, and then we're going to Orlando in
With
June.
Orlando.
Yeah. We're traveling with a lot more teams this year in June though.
Yeah,
And the
that's
players are
awesome.
excited. They're really happy. It's really a pleasure to see how excited the players are. They're really happy to be, part of something.
Oh, that's Mark. So some players have gotten contacted by coaches already. That's awesome, man. Definitely,
Yay.
congratulations to those players.
That's great.
Definitely, man. Yeah, I'm happy. So that's important. That's definitely important.
Yeah, that's definitely our goal, is to, get the players the exposure that they need, and get them out there so that they could have that college experience, because we have the talent. It's just that, we don't get out there as much as, the other players in the States.
Yeah. And I think like when you, as you guys, play more and the kids that get opportunities and like you meant, like you keep saying, like, get the players out there, and it just helps the Virgin Islands, and it helps the players coming up as well too, because when scouts or recruiters see the talent and realize where they're from and stuff, they start to gain interest in, like, hey, maybe we need to go to the Virgin Islands and start recruiting, or maybe try and invite teams from the Virgin Islands to come
Yep.
up here more. So it creates a lot more opportunities for everybody as well. Once the players then perform and stuff, it helps them and it helps the other players.
Yes, it
So
does.
yeah, and that's what's so important. You know, because once coaches see talent and they see real raw talent, and they realize that, man, if we could get this kid for a year or two and
Hmm.
fix up their fundamentals a little bit more, etc., just because they don't have the facilities, you know so it attracts more. It brings more
Yep.
attention to them and
That'll
stuff.
be
So
good.
yeah,
Get some coaches to come down here, come down, to the islands and see the players.
yeah,
That's the
so
goal.
yeah, hopefully, I know you mentioned that you guys traveling with a lot of teams, so hopefully you guys able to make some connects, and maybe one day in the future, you know, actually you guys can host a volleyball tournament in the Virgin Islands, and
Ooh, that'll
St.
be
Thomas,
great.
yeah, and have teams come down, because I guarantee you a lot of teams would definitely love to come to the
Oh
Virgin
yeah,
Islands to
for
play.
sure. You're like,
You
we're going
know,
to the Virgin Islands. They'll be down. They'll be
yeah,
down for that in a minute.
yeah. A lot of parents gonna let the kids go play, and they're gonna be on the beach.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah, but yeah, so yeah, hopefully that
Yep.
definitely works out. So, but I definitely gonna definitely come out and support you guys when you guys come up to Orlando.
Oh,
You
thank
know,
you. Yeah.
yeah, definitely,
Um,
definitely got the support. So
the
definitely,
Islanders with a big VI flag.
yeah. I ain't gonna be having a big VI flag, but so
Yeah, you quiet like that.
I'm gonna just be in the cut watching the game. I'll
Yeah.
cheer and clap and
Okay.
stuff like that.
Okay. Got you.
I ain't gonna bring too much attention to the
I
players and make them
know.
like, who this crazy dude with dreads screaming,
Hey,
making noise.
we got some of the parents that might do that for you though.
Okay, yeah. So they do it for me. They do it for me. You know what you. So I mean, we kind of winding down. So we'll get to some kind of rapid questions and
Hmm.
stuff. What you miss most about playing college volleyball?
Um, I miss the crowds. Um, I
Mm.
remember I one year I played and there was some younger players, black players, because I was the only black girl on my team.
Oh, really?
I was the only black girl on my team
Wow!
all 4 years. Yeah.
Wow!
And so I
Wow!
remember some of the younger black players coming with our posters every year. We had a photo shoot with all of that stuff. When you get to college, I'm like, what is going on? I remember us getting up, everybody getting all dolled up. You taking pictures for your website. You taking pictures for your poster that has the game schedule. Like we're not used to that, coming from the Virgin Islands.
Yeah, that's
And I
true.
remember players approaching me, like younger black players coming, "Oh, can you sign my poster?" Like that
Wow!
was just amazing. Like
That's
I
amazing.
felt, it's a great feeling, to see younger people actually, they're looking up to you.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. You definitely inspired a lot of kids. They might be playing college now, or and you don't
Right,
even know.
exactly.
It's
Or
true.
probably even
Yeah.
coaching. It's been a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah. That's
been
true.
a
Yeah.
while.
Because it's back in 2000, 2002, 2003, and stuff, right?
Yeah, I graduated in 2004, right? 4 5. 2005 I graduated from college.
Yeah. So these kids already done. They're probably college, done past college and
That's what
stuff.
I'm telling
So
you. They're probably
yeah,
done
yeah,
coaching too.
yeah. But you definitely inspired a lot of kids.
Yeah. Thank you. You too.
Oh yeah, for
You're a
sure.
big
Yeah.
basketball, volleyball, baseball star.
Yeah, I inspire quite a few, so I
Good,
inspire
good.
quite a few. That's I think that's one of the goals in life, is to inspire, you know, to
Correct.
inspire and you know encourage kids and stuff like that. Get kids, look up to you and stuff, and give them confidence and everything.
Yes.
So what was your first job
My first job after, well, my first job while I was
ever?
in high school, I worked at Iggy's at Belongo Bay at a restaurant. I'm a server.
Okay,
I still work there as a server to this day.
really?
Hmm.
Wow, that's nice.
I
That's
know,
big.
like 20 plus years. Everyone's like, "Do you must have shares in that place now?"
You know, it's like family, pretty
Yes,
much.
and
You know,
basically, I
that's
grew
what
up
it is.
there.
Yeah, you grew up there.
I
Yeah,
grew up there.
that's big. That's big time. Man. That's big time. That's
Yeah.
lovely. You know, and that's it's love to the fact that it's still open. You know, it's still going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
big. What are some difficulties you face as a woman getting to where you are today?
Um, my biggest difficulty is, I don't want to say it's a difficulty. It's just multitasking, having to multitask, being, you know, a mom, trying
Mm,
to provide, and trying to also be there for your kids. I'm sure I'm not the only mom that feels that way, where you know just every day you're just trying to make sure you provide for your kids, trying to be there mentally, physically, and emotionally for your children. um I've had a lot of job offers, different places, but my kids always come first for me. And so if I feel like it's not going to coincide with me being able to be there more for my kids, be there to their games, be there, most of the time, I'm not going to take that position. But at the same time, I have to be able to, work and provide for them. To me,
yeah,
that's the hardest part,
that's
is,
true. That's true.
yeah,
That's so true.
balancing, that.
That's true. The im- Hold up. If you had a message you could share with the world, like put it on a war, a worldwide, you making me laugh. You making me laugh because it's
Well, what?
you like
I didn't even do nothing. The
no,
hard
because I
questions
could see
coming
you like
now.
it seems like it seems like you really like focus it to make sure you know.
Oh God.
Okay, if you if you had a message you could share with the world, like put it on a worldwide billboard, what would it be?
Wow, that's a hard one. Okay, let me think for a minute. Put it on a billboard.
Yeah, you know, message you would like to share with the world.
For me, it's being a mother comes first and everything else comes after. That's just for me.
No, that's a good message. You know, because no, you laugh. Okay, so I say that that's a good message because the way how society is now, you know, with social media and stuff like that, you know, and it is what it is. You know, you see how society is, and sometimes you got parents acting like they're still in high school when they have kids and stuff like that. You know, and sometimes it comes off as if they're not being a parent first. You know,
Hmm.
so when you the message you say it's important and it resonates with today's society and stuff like that. You know, because sometimes a lot of kids how they're growing up and stuff like that. You know, they're growing up like if they don't have a parent, and sometimes it's the way how the parents behaving. You know,
Yeah.
etc. You know, so no, that's a
I
good
think
message.
I think that comes from all my years, basically, growing up, as an athlete. Like I said, my mom was not here. She's in Guadeloupe, and my dad lives here, but my dad, he worked construction, so that's basically what he did. And so when I had games and practices and all that stuff, um my no one came to my games. And I don't want to say no one came to my games, because I did have an adopted mom.
Yeah,
My best friend's mom, Margarita Smith, who has taught me to be the best mom that I can be, who I still go to ask any questions as far as motherhood is concerned. she, was so selfless, where she made sure she was a part of everything her kids did. She showed up to their practices, to their games. She motivated them. She was part of the team. She was a mom to a lot of the other players as well.
Oh, lovely.
And so, I look up to her, and so I want to, imitate her and be there for my kids like she was there for her kids, and some of for me, and her daughter, and some of the other players that was on the same team.
Okay, I got you. I got you. So yeah, what as a kid, you didn't that 100% support, etc., etc. So you know the feeling going through that as
Yeah.
a kid. So you definitely don't want your kids to never have that type of feeling. Even though
Hmm.
you had that, your stepmom, she did amazing job for
Hmm.
you. The sacrifices, and you pick up after that as well, doing the same thing. That's big.
Yeah, I remember getting like awards and tons of awards, and I do remember her being there. I
Yeah,
remember her herself always being there to tell me that I'm awesome, to tell me that I'm pretty, to tell me that I'm doing great. And so I believe that support from her is what helped me to make me who I am today, as far as not just a person but as a mother as well.
yeah, that's deep. That's deep. No, it's true. It's true. You laughing, but it is deep because it's like it's like because it's like it's hard. It's like as a kid, you live in life where you're going through it, every day and stuff like that. You're gonna face battles, insecurities. You're gonna face challenges, and sometimes you
Yeah,
need someone to be there for you to
you
give
need
you
that guidance.
confidence, yeah,
To
guidance,
give
and
you confidence.
yeah, everything.
Yep.
And then when and it depends how it hits you at that age. But sometimes when you become an adult and you have kids of your own, sometimes those old feelings come back, and
Yep.
then and then sometimes it hits you harder, and it makes you really, really go extra hard for your kids because you know how it was like for you, and you definitely don't
Yeah.
want your kids to feel that way.
Yep.
So yeah,
That's why my
it's
kids are the way they are today. Oh my goodness. Especially the youngest one. If she does one thing in the game, Mom, you didn't see my serve? I'm like, oh no, I missed it. And it's like, what? You missed my serve kind of thing?
yeah,
Where she's just, they want you to see, them being great, and you want to motivate them. You want to be there for them for each and every
definitely,
moment.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. That's deep. That's deep. Because when you go through what you're going through at that age, is like your parents not there.
Mm-hmm.
So you just in the game. You in the game. You
Yes.
don't have the moment to think like, oh, did you see daddy
Yes,
or mommy? Did you
exactly.
see that? You
Exactly.
wasn't thinking like that. So to
Yeah.
hear your kids, that's hard. That's heart touching.
Yep.
That's heart touching.
Yeah.
5 words that describe you as a person.
Oh, oh gosh.
Hey, this is the
Ah,
Myriam. This is the elite podcast questions.
oh
Everybody go through
gosh.
this. Everybody go through this. Everybody go
You,
through this.
you gotta give me the questions, so I gotta study.
Hey, 20 years later, when your kids watch this, they're gonna be laughing. You're gonna be laughing.
I know,
So
I
yeah,
know.
yeah. So,
Okay, I could think of okay.
okay, I'll give you
Passionate
passionate.
is
Okay.
one. Um Hardworking. I'm trying to think of that's only two, and I have like three more to go.
If you want, you can give me three. That's fine.
Okay,
I ain't gonna put so much pressure on you.
passionate, hardworking, loving, I guess. At
Nice.
times. Depends.
You said at times.
Yes. So
So
that's
okay.
three.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
that's good. That's good.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
I ain't gonna put too much pressure. I
Okay.
guarantee you, when we get off live,
I
maybe
gotta think of
tomorrow, you'll be like,
a
man,
hundred
yeah,
more. Like,
100.
man.
Yeah. No, I like those three. Those trees are good. Those three are good. Okay. Favorite music artists or artists?
Mm, I guess Rihanna. Rihanna.
Rihanna?
I like Mariah Carey.
Okay,
Who else I
nice.
like? Yeah, Rihanna and Mariah
Hey,
Carey.
two legends, two legends. You can't
Yes,
beat
for
that.
sure.
Okay. An artist, an
Oh yeah,
album, or
Beyonce. I forgot Beyonce. I like Beyonce too.
Beyonce, you definitely gotta get Beyonce. So Rihanna,
Yeah, you gotta
Beyonce, and
get
Mariah Carey. Yeah, you picking the legends.
hydrate.
Okay, so an artist, an album, or a song you like that people close to you would be shocked or surprised.
um, I don't think anybody would be shocked, really. Uh,
So
I like
nobody like a artist or a song that just
I
a
like
terrible ratchet song or just a crazy song that you like that people will be shocked that you
Amy.
like it.
That's not me. No,
No? Okay.
like my best friend. I'm like, girl, how could you listen to this thing? No, I was like love songs, and I like Taurus Riley. I like Darius Hammond because I grew up with my mom listening
Yeah,
to
very.
those music. That's what I usually listen to when I'm cleaning. Just those conscious love songs.
Yeah, nice. Barris is the
Yeah.
man. That's the man right there. So you just answered one of my questions. So an album you play without skipping a song. You just play when you put it on, you just play through.
um, Tony Braxton. I don't know
Okay.
the album itself. That's what I used to listen to when I was in high school.
Tony
Listen to my
Braxton?
Tony Braxton all the time.
Tony, I ain't hear her name in a while. Tony
Yeah,
Braxton.
that was
Yeah,
my girl. I used to, you know what? Long ago we didn't have all this internet where you could just pull up songs all over the place. I had
yeah,
this
that's
one
true.
little CD, and it was Tony Braxton, and that's what I listened to.
Yeah, you burn it out there.
Yeah, burn it out, scratch up everything.
Okay, favorite male and female actor.
um, Angela Bassett for sure.
Nice.
She's amazing.
She is amazing.
Um, actor. I don't really have a favorite male actor, honestly. Well, for right now, can you imagine? I just watched Creed 1 and 2 recently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Michael B. Jordan.
Okay, Michael B. Jordan. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
that's a good choice. Michael B.
yeah.
Jordan.
I mean, that's kind of like more recent, but I'm sure there's someone else
Yeah,
that
probably
I.
like Denzel or
Oh
something.
wait, I like. Yeah, why you gotta say Denzel? No, it's no.
No.
I like Sylvester Stallone. He's pretty cool. I like Rambo. You know what I'm gonna say?
Yeah, Rambo, Rocky.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
All the
yeah,
amazing movies that he's made.
yeah. He made some good movies. He made some
Yeah,
good
for
movies.
sure. Expendables. He has a lot.
Yeah. Okay, five guests, dead or alive, to join you at a dinner table.
Wow.
Yeah, that you would like to have a conversation with five guests, dead or alive. That you would love to sit at a table with you to ask questions, have a conversation. Someone you would love to speak to. Five.
That's a hard one, man.
Hey,
Five guests
I
that I
gotta
would
get you
like to
thinking.
have.
I gotta get you thinking.
Oh my gosh. You gotta send me these questions before you know
Hey, that's what we call it. Is the
that I would
rapid
like to have
questions.
a conversation with. I would pick some of my coaches, because I would pick Myron Corbett, Mr. Charlie Davis, uh, Mr. Ronald Blyden, my my best friend's mom, Margarita Smith. Uh, that's four, I think.
Yeah.
Um, I can't think of one more, but the reason why I picked those four so far is because they were the most influential people in my life at when I was younger. I needed someone to guide me, and they were there to guide me, to motivate me. Um, Myron Corbett, because even after I went away, to college. When I came back, he would always, I don't know, he believed in me. He always used to ask me to speak at the sports program at the end of the
Okay.
year to the students. And I
Nice,
was like,
nice. That's
I used to be
lovely.
like, where does my want me to talk? I don't know nothing. But anyways, he always picked me to talk. Mr. Blyden always believed in, the group of girls, the group of players. He believed in us more than we believed in ourselves. Mr. Davis was the same way. And of course, my best friend's mom, because, I explained to you
Yeah,
how she was the one, to basically raise me at a time when I needed, that guidance.
man, that's big. That's big. Definitely big up to the four of them.
Mhm.
That's big time. Five places you would love to visit. 3 to 5 places you would love to visit. 3 to 5.
I need to visit France because I'm technically a French citizen because I was
Yeah,
born, in their
yeah,
territory.
that's
I
true.
need to visit France for sure. Um, uh, Africa, to see it.
Yeah,
But I don't know about going on those safaris. I ain't want no lion jumping in the safari.
yeah. Stay away from the safaris. You know,
Seriously.
you see
Uh,
videos and stuff. You
yeah.
know,
Um, Dubai because it looks nice.
yeah, it does look nice.
I see people posted the pictures and everything. Bora Bora, the water looks amazing. Like, it's kind of like our beaches down
Yeah,
here.
Bora Bora look nice.
Yeah, it looks nice. And then my youngest, it's so funny. My youngest, she's only 11, and she's like, "Mom, I think for my next birthday, I want to go to Greece."
Wow,
I'm like, "Girl,
that's
you
a
think
good
we're richer
choice.
than men?" I'm like, I don't even have that in my dream, but you over here, 11-year-old, talking about you want to go to Greece.
Ah,
These kids are killing me.
hey, you know, she see pictures. She see pictures of Greece. So
That's the thing. That's the thing
yeah.
with the internet. They be on there. I'm like, I don't even know what Greece looks like, but okay. So those are the 5 places.
Nice, nice. I like those
Mhm.
places. Good places. Last question. Last question.
Uh-oh.
So you can breathe now. You can breathe now. Okay, so what you know now today, what would you tell a young Miriam?
What I know now today, I would tell my young self to be patient. Um,
I like that. Be patient.
yeah, just be patient that everything has its time, to not try to rush into things, be patient, continue to work hard, and eventually you will get to where you want to be.
I
That's
like
it.
that. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that. So before we wrap up, do you want to give any big ups to anybody? Any friends, family, teammates, mentors, anyone you want to give some big ups to? Any of the teams, the name you want to big up any of the names of the travel teams?
Yes, I want to big up Island Mix volleyball club. I want to big up Mr. Mark Daniel for putting it all together for us, putting the league
Definitely.
together, getting all the players out. Um, it's it's amazing what he's done for the sport of volleyball on the island.
Lovely.
He actually keeps it going, and I just love to see how excited all the players from age 9, or I think the youngest is 8, all the way through 18. These kids are so excited to be out there, to be part of something. And I just want to tell him, thank you so much, because of course, I have 2 daughters. And so it gives us something to look forward to every day, every week. I'm sure it gives the other players, the younger players, something to look forward to. We're part of a family now, a volleyball family. We got volleyball moms crew over here, volleyball
Nice.
dads, and
Nice.
I just want to tell him that I'm very thankful and grateful for everything that he's doing for the sport of volleyball on St. Thomas.
Man, that's big. Yeah, definitely big up to Mark Daniels, man. That's big time. I love to hear that. Definitely
Yeah.
love to hear that.
Hmm. And also big up to my 16-year-old daughter, Maya. Continue. Oh, yeah, she's 17. Oh, my gosh. I keep forgetting.
Hey,
She
I know how
just
it
turned
is.
17. That was my senior moment.
I know how it is. Trust me. I know how
And my
that is.
11-year-old daughter, Leah, to keep, staying focused, relax, calm down. Because, she's like myself when I was her age.
Yeah.
And to continue to work hard. And once you work hard, you'll get to where you want to be.
Lovely, 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 lovely. It's a wrap. Miriam, I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. It was
Thank you,
great.
Muma, for inviting me.
Yeah,
Although I
it's
didn't know what to expect, it's amazing. I love what you're doing.
yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. It's always good hearing everybody's story. I think everybody needs to not I don't think, but it's just a blessing to hear everyone's story because everybody have dealt with some adversity and people can always learn from other people's story as well too. And kids coming up who inspire to be like you and have dreams like you, they able to hear your story and it could probably spark something in their brain that could help them overcome some type of obstacles in the future as well too.
Yes, that's
So
why what you're doing is so awesome that they can
yeah,
look at this and know what to expect when they go on to the next level. So
yeah,
what you're doing is really good, and I
yeah.
really
Thank
do
you.
appreciate you having me here tonight.
Anytime, anytime, anytime. So viewers, I appreciate you guys coming on, asking questions, supporting Miriam and her episode. I appreciate all you guys. Appreciate everybody who tuned in. Definitely if you guys got a chance, like the YouTube channel. The V.I.Legends is for all the VI athletes. Everybody's legends in their own right. So it's just all about spreading knowledge of the different athletes and the different individuals, not just athletes, but individuals from the Virgin Islands, that have done great things and overcome adversity in their life and stuff like that. So everybody be safe. Everybody have a good night. One love to everybody. Be safe.
All right. Good night, everyone.